So who will the Cowboys pick at number 12 overall in the 2025 NFL Draft? Just about every NFL Draft insider agrees in one name. And I'll tell you the specific detail as to why I believe they are onto something. Let's get to it. What's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. We are 1 week away from the NFL Draft. And listen, it's an exciting time. But there's one name that keeps being linked to the Cowboys, and people are wondering if this is legit. Is this the guy the Cowboys are going to pick? Now, before we get into that, I just want to lead off with a disclaimer. I think a lot of the times people think they know what the Cowboys are going to do in the NFL Draft, and then they go on a very different direction, right? I remember a couple of years ago when the Cowboys were looking at Michael Mayer, at Dalton Kincaid. Everyone thought they were going to go a tight end, and then they ended up taking Mauricio Smith that year. So in all honesty, who knows what the Cowboys are going to do? But let me tell you this. Mel Kiper, Daniel Jeremiah, Dane Brugler, and Lance Zierlein are all picking Matthew Golden in their latest mock drafts for the Cowboys. 4 of the very top NFL draft insiders agreeing in one name and one name only. Now, let me tell you this. Mel Kiper in specific is someone that catches my attention. He had a co-mock draft with Phil Yates, and he ended up going with Matthew Golden, which is a significant change and pivot from his previous 3 mock drafts where he had the Cowboys picking Omarion Hampton at 12. So that in itself is a major change. But I will add this, and this is a specific reason why I think they are all onto something. Sure, with Dane Brugler's mock, Ted McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, was taken beforehand at number 9 overall. But the other 3 insiders, they were all part of mocks in which Ted McMillan was on the board at the same time as Matthew Golden, and they all chose the Longhorns wide receivers still. That has to tell you something. That screams of these insiders having some piece of intel that says the Cowboys specifically like Golden. Now, we can argue about whether or not Golden is worth that pick, and we can argue whether or not the Cowboys should instead seek a trade down, which is entirely possible. But it's starting to sound like this is someone they like. And I would argue if they really like him, then you just don't pass on him at number 12. One of the biggest things that I hear against Golden is that he isn't a number 1 wide receiver. To be honest, I don't care about that because the Cowboys have that taken care of. I just think the Cowboys cannot line up in week 1 with their current wide receiver room. You need a strong choice at number 2. And with Golden's speed and his ability to create separation and how he gets into routes and breaks out of them, I think he might be the right guy for this offense. But forget about what I think. Again, I insist, if 3 top NFL draft insiders had the Cowboys with McMillan and Golden at the same time on the board and they all picked Golden, that says something. Now, as you know, Golden is a part of the Cowboys' top 30 visits leading up to the NFL Draft, but so is Burden, Emeka Egbuka, and also McMillan himself. So this just says that they're looking at wide receivers overall. And at the end of the day, the biggest reason why I think they will be choosing a wide receiver at number 12 overall is because of their overwhelming need at the position. Sure, the Cowboys might be willing to go best player available and take a cornerback or maybe an offensive lineman if it comes to that, maybe even an edge rusher if Jalen Walker from Georgia is there at 12. But they can play week 1 without any of that. They got players for all of it. But the wide receiver room, it cannot be Jalen Tolbert at number 2. It cannot be Jonathan Mingo. It cannot be Kevontae Turvin. They absolutely need to address these needs. And it seems like the only resource that they've got that can land them a truly difference maker in day 1 is their number 12 overall pick. I don't think you get that at number 44 in the second. I don't think you get that at number 76 in the 3rd round. And you absolutely are not getting that in the 5th, 6th, or 7th rounds. And knowing the Cowboys, they're not going to sign Amari Cooper. I doubt they will look into Keenan Allen even. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The most likely name right now, 1 week away at number 12 for the Cowboys is Matthew Golden. Let's see if that changes.